how often do you allow yourself to feel? I spend a lot of time in my head. I would want to fix this emotion because it's unpleasant. When I'm feeling sad, I would judge myself. I'm being dramatic, it's not a big deal, I should be considerate, I should be doing this or that, it's fine, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Awareness to me right now feels different. Acknowledging and noticing every thoughts, every emotions, and every sensation of your physical body with lesser judgment. Because I noticed that the more I try to push away certain thoughts and certain feelings, it's not actually away. Like how people maybe tell you to distract yourself with things or just don't think and everything will be fine. Maybe you find it hard to fall asleep because of all these thoughts and emotion that just come running. I would spend time on social media, scroll hours and hours until eventually I tired and then I fall asleep. Wake up the next day, I feel anxious, then I pick up my phone, I scroll to temporarily calm myself. But sometimes, as effective as it is, it's not healthy because then I lose track of time. I lost this self-control gradually, and it's something that accumulates over time. It can affect the trust you have with yourself, the accountability. If you watch YouTube or you seek for advice, people will provide a lot of methods. Or you should wake up at 5 a.m., take a cold bath, work out, eat healthy. As helpful as they are, a lot of people are fail to do so. I start something, I aim too high, and then I fail. I never understand the reason behind it. Whenever I have this guilt, I have this shame, I feel anxious, I feel stressed, I often feel worse because I shouldn't be feeling this way. And I blame myself because this feeling is the result of my action. And I get stuck right there. But I recently starting to think maybe they serve a purpose. They're telling us something. Maybe a lot of time we just need to listen and observe and allow ourselves this safe space and time to process everything. Because how often I jump into this problem solving or trying to dismiss or disregard how I'm feeling, the more I seek for change, the less I'm actually satisfied with my improvement. Spending years trying to be this certain version of myself that I will feel satisfied. But I feel like no matter how far I have come, I often focus on the things that I'm not doing good enough, the thing that I fail at, the thing that I keep making mistake. I didn't allow myself to really sit down and process them. I didn't allow myself to just feel. Your mind is wired a certain way to view certain things. Trauma, experience that you feel fearful, but you never have the chance to address it. When we were younger, we do not know and we do not see things clearly as we are now, as we develop wisdom. Wisdom not just coming from experience, but also coming from thinking and reflecting. And it's not always just about immediate problem solving, but allow ourselves to just really just process the whole thing without constantly trying to control or having everything analyzed down or having all the problems solved. But sometimes all we need is just to breathe and then just acknowledging it. Let's say I'm feeling anxious, right? I'm aware of it. I notice the thoughts of forcing myself to be productive and then acknowledging it. Then I notice my belly feeling stressed. Then I'm also noticing it. And then coming back to continue breathing and just allow the thoughts to be. It's like you are watching television, you are the actor, but you are also the audience. You're setting a gap between these two things, and you are observing and you're listening, you're examining how your thought pattern works and how your emotion flow. When do you feel anxious? What do you do when you feel anxious? What type of thought process are you having? It's not to tell you to immediately fix it. And I think that's the tricky part. Is the more you're trying to fix it, the more you feel anxious and stressed about it because you need answer. But the weird thing is, it's not something I know yet because I'm still on the journey, which I just want to share my insight. which is the less I'm trying to fix the problem, the more I know things clearer. Because for someone who overthink a lot, there is a lot of what if, what if, what if. The 1% of possible failure or potential harm, and that's what keep looping. And I find that the reason is because I do not understand myself. I do not understand my nature, how I work as a person, my personality. So that's what making it hard. I find it hard to accept who I am as a person because I never really allow myself to feel and to think. And when I start to do that, gradually, then I start to know myself better. So let's say I have the thought process of this and this and this, and then instead of judging and blaming myself, oh, I shouldn't be thinking like this, I learn to observe when does this thought process shows and how do I feel during it, how do I feel before, during, and after of doing something. Let's say I crave for adult content, and then I just do it mindlessly, autopilot, and then at the end I regret, I depress. I want to change. The next time I have urge, I go back and forth. I feel anxious, I feel stressed. Then I do it again. I would never really success in my case. I will lose more hope and trust in myself. If you never consume something, you will never be addicted to it, right? I'm aiming to change something that I never understand why I started with. For me, myself, I spend so much time escaping from my emotions. And that's why I come back to this adult content again and again. I'm on a path where I being more aware that, oh, I'm having anxious feeling, and that's why this is the moment that usually trigger the urge to watch adult content. To, I don't know what's the answer. That is not for me to figure it out, but for me to observe, to be aware and acknowledge that this is the existence of reality of this present moment. And I feel like that's when, with this awareness, I can start to be more present, which is kind of such a wonderful process, and it gives me some hope. And even a few nights ago, I was thinking, maybe when I have this urge, the purpose is not to focus on to do or not to do, or how many days I have resist. Maybe it's not about resistance or force, because at the end, I tried 3 years, and 3 years it doesn't work. I still do. I still watch every 1 or 2 days, and I never really understand why. What did I need, and what is it that I truly need? So if you are watching this, you may feel desperate for a change, but as for myself, I struggled for so many years not knowing who I am. It's the lack of acceptance, a lack of love. Most importantly, is the lack of understanding. And it's not just, oh, if I understand myself, then all of a sudden everything is going to change. We still have to put in the work. We still have to make changes, because habit is something that sort of a plan inside us, and we kind of just sometimes we do things automatically. It's important to understand what is it that works for you, because everyone is going to have different ways of working. Everyone's routine is different, preference is different. So once in a lifetime, coming back to this channel to make video again. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah.